This is Dan, and hang on, we're going to play a quick video for you here. So this is the day that your car arrived at Phantom Works. And yes, it probably is Audrey doing most of the work. So you can see the, really this car at that point was a shell, wasn't it?
Yes.
I mean, your car was a kind of a rolling shell. All right, so you're here today, and how long has your car been here at the shop?
About 14 months.
14 months, and let's just go back a quick history on the car. When did your dad acquire this car to the best of your knowledge?
Probably the late 70s.
Okay, and I saw a picture of it in a barn that fell on top of it. What year did the barn fall on top of the Corvette?
Probably in the early 90s.
Okay, so we're going back roughly 28, 30 years, somewhere around there, right? 28, 30 years ago. So the barn fell on it, and what happened to the Corvette 30 years ago?
It was sitting in the same spot. You know, they cleaned the barn up, but it's sitting in the same spot until 2016.
Okay, so for about 26 years, did that car sit outside, though?
Yes, it was outside.
Outside in the rain, covered in snow. I mean...
Yeah, we had to cut trees about 3 inches diameter out of it.
Okay.
To get it out.
So it was in pretty rough shape.
Yes.
All right, now... You then got your dad, you finally convinced your dad. Did your dad willingly give you this car, or?
Yeah, he just called me and my brother over to his house one day and says, pick out a car and give you one.
Okay, very cool. Now, my understanding is your mom is still upset at your father for buying this car back in the 70s. Is that true?
She probably is, yes.
Okay, and how much did he pay for it when he bought the 63 split window Corvette?
I think it was around $4,500.
$4,500. All right, let me explain something, folks. Today, for $4,500, you can barely buy seat belts for a 63 Corvette, okay? So it was a steal at $4,500. So your mom, now has your mom forgiven your dad for spending $4,500 to buy a 63 Corvette 50 years later?
Probably deep down, no.
Yeah, so... All right, so perhaps today there will be a little forgiveness when you see this car. So it's been here for, I guess, about 14 months. And in that time, the car's gone through quite a transformation. And you went from originally wanting pipes out the back to pipes out the side. It's an LS-powered monster with a 5-speed overdrive transmission, leather interior. The color, what made you decide you wanted a color that was never stock to a 63 Corvette?
I just seen it on I think the 2017 or 18 Grand Sports.
Okay.
And when I seen it, I just fell in love with it. I said, that's the color I want.
Okay, so it's a Corvette color. So that cool news is you've got an original Corvette color, but hardly original to 63. And then, you know, originally I don't think you had the idea when you sat down here the first day that we were going to black everything out, did you? I mean, I think there was going to be some blacked out stuff. That's Heidi. We have to let her get that out of her system about every 5 minutes. Okay. So had you originally planned on blacking everything out on the car?
That's what I wanted to do, is black everything out.
You did? Okay, and let me explain something. I hate him for that. Blacking out this car was not easy. When you've got to black out badging and trim and things, there's a lot of detail work. So he and I fought a little bit over that one, you know. But all right, so I don't suppose you'd like to go see the car, would you?
Oh yes.
Would you like to go see it? All right, so let's go do that. So I get to walk in front of you. So we're not going to spend a lot of time here. We've actually been talking for a couple of hours, and we've gone over everything. Interestingly, this morning when he pulled into or this morning when he came out from his hotel room, someone asked him if he was going to, if he had a car in the back, and he said, well, I don't yet, but I'm going to go pick up one. And what did they ask you when you said you were going to go pick up a car?
I think he was being a smart. Like he says, you going over to Phantom Works? I said, yeah, as a matter of fact, I am.
As a matter of fact, I am. All right, so here's your car. What do you think?
It looks beautiful already.
All right. So you're just going to wait there. In fact, here's where I would like you to stand. Okay. See this little spot on the floor, the hole? stand here because I think that, look, there are angles on a car that look even better than almost any other angle. So Audrey's there now. This is a 63 Corvette. Now before, hang on, I'm going to say just a few things about what's under this cover. If you're a purist and you want to see an original, completely unmodified 63 Corvette, turn off your phone right now, run away from the screen. This is a highly modified, highly customized car that is really the thing that Brad wanted. He didn't want an original car. He wanted what he wanted, and you know what? That's what you should have, right? If this car has been in the family for what, 45 years roughly, and you wanted something special out of it, well, I think that's exactly what you should do. So we've got a car here that it's not original paint. It's not original. It ain't original anything, is it? Okay, so Audrey, would you slowly peel the cover off? Just pull it forward. So we're going to see a 63 emerge. All right, so just take a moment. Color. Is it the color that you wanted?
I can't believe it. I got to move now.
All right, so now is this what you envisioned?
No, but I really didn't envision anything.
Okay, so
I'm not the visionary in the family.
You didn't have a picture in your head?
No, I did not.
Brad, is this the picture you had in your head 14 months ago?
Oh yeah, I mean, I know I'm biased, but I think this is the prettiest car you've ever built.
Well, I'm damn glad you feel that way. So blacked out. Let's just start looking at blacked out features. Of course, you got the blacked out wheels, and you will notice it is the only shiny black thing on the car, right? So the bumpers. Blacking out the bumpers actually wasn't all that hard. Blacking out the grille wasn't crazy hard. But now let's start talking about these. Notice the blackout that every one of the raised ribs is actually gloss black, and every one of the center of the ribs is independently painted in a matte. Now, what do you think of that detail? Because to me, that is just cool.
Yeah, that took some time, didn't it?
Yeah, it took a little bit of time and some laser stamping. Your mirrors. Here's what's interesting. You will notice, of course, that you've got the early 63. You see the splines on here? Mm-hmm. Those are original early 63 mirrors. Of course, your door handles are blacked out. The exhaust that I hated, and let me make sure you understand, hate was a capital H. The exhaust was an absolute pain in the ass to do. Getting it to actually come out of exactly where it needed to and be blacked out and be high temp resistant and everything else. Tail lights, rear bumper. What do you think of that license plate?
Oh, I like it. It's cooler than the one I was trying to get off you in your office.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is the one you wanted, so this is the plate you get with your car. And what do you think of the blacked out emblem?
I don't even want to put gas in it.
Yep. So the emblem, that actually took a little bit of special work to black that out. And so, of course, that's really the only bright work you've got left on the entire car is the flags inside the gas cap. And I wanted a little bit of detail. I didn't want to just paint the flags black. So do you agree with leaving that little tiny splash of color?
Yes, I love that.
Okay, now, we talked about windows. Should this car, and it's going to be a little bit hard to catch without the reflection coming in, but you know, we were just discussing, do we tint the windows or not? Now, in my opinion, I want to see the interior of this car. And it's a little hard because we've got so much reflection coming in, but the interior of the car is just magnificent. In fact, let's just open the door and take a look at this car on the inside. So what do you think? Of course, leather seats, your custom 67 modified console. So you've got your e-brakes functioning through there. Of course, power windows. A dash that's largely been blacked out. We left just enough accent on it to give you just, so you can see the things you want to see. Of course, power steering, power brakes, air conditioning.
Do I mention the aftermarket air conditioning since you hate it?
Oh, you have no idea how much I hate aftermarket air conditioning. But it's in there, and it all works great. Well, grab a seat. Go ahead and have a seat and tell me what it feels like to strap a 63 Corvette on your back.
This will be the first time I ever drove it.
Really? Oh, that's right. Yeah, you've never been down the road in this car, have you?
I've rode in it, but never drove it.
Okay, now, we kept the stock seats. Of course, they were done in leather, but notice the car there's not a ton of space for you in this car.
Yeah.
But so you're not exactly, spacious, but
right.
What do you think of your fit? Are you happy with the way you fit in this car?
Yeah. Shauna has pretty rooms, so that's all that matters.
So you'll notice there's a few accents in the car that aren't blacked out. One of the reasons I don't like blacking out an entire interior is, especially under subdued light, it's hard to see and actually interface. So notice that you've got just a couple knobs that are silver and a few things. Is there anything that we should have blacked out that we didn't?
No, I agree. It needs some offset from black.
Okay. Notice your Dakota digital gauges, which give you feed out for everything. You know what I mean? You've got everything from oil pressure and temperature. You've got just basically you can get an array of information out of those gauges. So unlike a 63 Corvette original car, you've got much more information, much more control over the road, much more braking. Oh, yeah, go ahead and pop your hood release. Yep. And let me show you, sorry to drag you out of your car again, but let me show you the beast that exists here.
Man, that door feels solid.
Oh yeah, what do you think of that?
Wow.
And they both close just like that. They both close exceptionally well.
Oh yeah.
So what you've got in here is, of course, here's your cold air intake, your LS, probably my favorite braking system in the entire world. It's an electro-pneumatic braking system that'll stop this car in a dime and give you about 9 cents in change.
I see the exhaust you're talking about.
Yep.
Going around the frame.
Oh yeah, the exhaust and the framework on this car, making everything fit. The integration on these cars is actually quite complicated. Making everything fit just beautifully. So, before you get a chance to start this thing and hear the beast come to life, what do you think overall about the effect of this car? Do you like its presence, its stance, the colors, the sinister look?
I wouldn't have it any other way. Beautiful.
So,
It's badass, if I can say that on Facebook.
I think you're allowed to say about anything on Facebook. It's uncensored internet. So, you like your car?
Oh yeah. It's amazing. What do you think?
I love it.
You love it?
Do you?
I do.
Now,
I think
Can-
it turned out wonderful.
did this, Dan.
now, can we agree
Yeah.
that this is really more of a guy's car, the way it was darkened, and
Yes.
there's very little whimsy and very little,
But I don't think this car needs whimsy.
All right, so we're back because unfortunately my phone is a possessed piece of Samsung garbage, and so we're back. And so yeah, would you say that there's anything dainty or sort of girlish about this car?
No.
Yeah, really it
Don't
isn't.
be girlish.
Okay, so you don't even. Okay, good. Yeah,
We're not blingy. We're cool with dark and sinister.
Okay, because let me just sort of give a quick walk around to the car and take a look at, you know, how the son of a gun gray. So this is about a 2018 Grand Sport color. And of course, you're going to see that everything on the car is basically blacked out. Everything. Bumpers, emblems, badging, hood inserts, windshield wipers, mirrors, door locks. And in fact, I did notice one thing. It dawned on me. You know what we didn't black out? Windshield nozzles. That's it. That is the only non-blacked out thing on the whole car. And we can do that if you want. That's not hard to do. But it just dawned on me that was the one thing that we missed on the entire car. That's the only piece of silver anywhere on your entire car.
I didn't even notice them.
Yeah, that's it. So there's just sort of a viewpoint of a 63 Corvette. And you know, one of the things I was thinking of this morning as we were getting this car ready and, you know, putting the cover over it, was that if this Corvette could have gone back to Le Mans in the GT class in 63, 64, I think this car would have done exceptionally well at Le Mans the way it's configured today, if we could transport this thing back. So, Brad, why don't you turn the key? And, you know, of course, you don't have to pump it or anything, right? Just turn the key, and let's hear this beast come to life, because then the next big step is you got to strap it on and hang on, because when this thing goes, let me tell you, it goes. All right, now, it's got a neutral safety, so your shifter has to be in neutral. Foot on the clutch. Hang on, you got to use your left foot on that clutch, because if you ever...
Stressing me out.
Yeah, if you ever put your right foot on it and release it, you got a problem. So, good habit transfer. Hit that left foot, put it in neutral, and turn the key. Okay, so... we got our side pipe singing to us. Give it just a little gas. I always let engines warm up, but... What do you think of the sound?
I love the sound.
Do women...
Love the sound.
Do women get off on... To me, that is the sexiest sound that almost exists in the whole world.
I do. I don't know about every woman, but I do.
Yeah, I think it is just a bad, bad sound. So... All right.
I gotta practice getting out of this thing.
All right, so you've seen it, you've heard it. Are you ready to drive it?
Oh yeah.
All right, so folks, here's what we're gonna do. Well, in fact, I'll tell you what. Why don't you guys get in and get strapped in? I'll drop the hood and open the door for you. Now, I am gonna say this, and this is very sincere. This car is obscenely fast. No 63 in the world ever produced the kind of power this did back in 63. So do me a favor, just really take it easy, right? This car can get away from you. So, you know, get used to it before you decide to drop your foot in it and bring it up to $7 grand, because the car will do it.
Drive it like a grandpa, I'm going to tell you.
Well, for right now, that's probably not a bad idea, but believe me, Grandpa will go away once you get comfortable with this thing. So, they're going to get in. Your seat belts are clipped on the center console in the original fashion, and of course, you've got your retractors on the outside. So this is the first time you've ever heard this car run. Okay, so there's a lot of firsts happening today. All right, so you nervous?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. I understand that, because it's fast and it's new, and you've got some getting used to on the car, okay?
Yeah.
Your shift knob, just one thing, we probably need to consider finding a shift knob. That's the one you brought in. and I didn't know if there was any sentiment to it, but the shift knob, the reverse is in a different spot, right?
All the way down.
Yeah. All right, so go ahead and pull your door closed and I'll get the door for you. Oh, takes a little getting used to in a brand new vehicle. Making sure that you learn the clutch, everything. Hold on. It's a cold day here. Hang on. Let me help get him through this first start. All right, so hang on. What just happened?
I had the park brake on.
Okay, so we gotta, there's a lot of new things to get used to, all right? So give it a little bit of gas. You're fine. You can go. Wow, that is a truly beautiful car. I think it's everything he wanted. He's been after that car for years. His dad decided to give it to him, but that started the process that years ago he pulled it out of the field, cut the trees. Great photographs of all of that happening. And so now it's time to start enjoying the car. This is the first ride he's ever had in it, so I think that's a pretty exciting moment for him. All right, so we'll be back when they're back in, and we'll just say hi to them after they've had a chance to go drive it, and then we'll get it loaded up and they'll be on their way.